Welcome back to Your Fantasy Nerd, where today we're going to be doing a new segment where we call Slump or Stud with the sophomore wide receivers. So the first guy we'll talk about is Brandon Cooks. Is he going to be a slump or stud?
I think he'll be in between, but if I had to pick, I'd say stud. He had a very good first preseason game. He had a touchdown. I mean, this guy's just unbelievably skilled. He's a deep threat. Will be the number one guy now. Like Jimmy Graham was obviously the number one threat there, but now he's the number one wide receiver. He's the number one threat. Drew Brees, I think, will have not nearly as good as this season, but I think he'll still put up good numbers. He'll be top 7 quarterback. So I look for Cooks to have a good year. I think he'll be a stud.
Yeah, I agree. I've loved this guy since the beginning. I think he's going to be a stud. What he does in that offense, I know people say he's small, but that guy's fast. I mean, he's going to break past people. He's going to have his long touchdowns. And he's actually going to catch the close passes, so I think he's going to be a stud this year. All right, the next guy is Kelvin Benjamin.
I think he's going to be he'll have a slump this year. He had a very good season last year. I think you can look for him to get some touchdowns. They have Devin Funchess now, who may or may not take some touchdowns away from him in the red zone. I just think he'll just decline this year. Not like a huge decline, but I think he will have a slight decline in his stats this year.
Yeah, I think he'll be a slump as well. I just think that he's not all that good. I mean, he was the only threat last year, and I really think that's not going to be the case this year. Carolina really couldn't rely on the run last year with absolutely nothing in the backfield.
Until the later weeks.
Yeah, if Jonathan Stewart can stay healthy, which is a huge if, but if he can stay healthy, I think that they're going to run the ball a lot more. So I'm avoiding Benjamin in all my leagues. I think he's a slump. All right, now Jordan Matthews.
I think he's a stud. He top 20 wide receiver last year. I just think he's got great talent. I think that Chip Kelly knows how to use their wide receivers. I think that he'll just perform very well in that offense.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think this guy's going to be a stud. That offense is really what helps him out. I mean, he's a good talent, but that anyone in that offense has always been good. Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin. There's guys that they really never have any bad wide receivers. So now being the number one threat, there's no way he's not a stud. I love Jordan Matthews. The next guy is Allen Robinson in Jacksonville.
I really want to say stud, but I'm going to say I'm going to say slump. I just don't see this guy being consistent enough to be a stud in the NFL. That's the only concern. If he was somewhat consistent, I would probably say stud, but he's just so inconsistent. He had good weeks and some terrible weeks where he put up 0 to 3 points. So
yeah, he got injured at the end of last year, which kind of made his numbers look bad, but he's not a touchdown threat, only 2 touchdowns in, I believe, 10 games. It's not very good. So this offense is bad. He's going to be a slump. I just think that you can't take anyone in that offense with confidence, so I think he's a slump. All right, Jarvis Landry.
I love Jarvis Landry. He's a stud in my opinion. He had a touchdown last night in the first preseason game against the Bears. Him and Ryan Tannehill, I think, are going to have a great connection. I look for him to have a huge year for Miami, and I would definitely be taking him in all my drafts.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to go against that. I'm going to say slump just because I think that offense has so many weapons, and while he probably is the number one, he is the number one. But I just think that Kenny Stills being there, Greg Jennings, Tannehill's going to have a ton of weapons.
Greg Jennings is like 50.
I know, but he's still a viable option. I think they're going to throw it around. Jordan Cameron. So I just think he's going to be a slump just because in PPR formats maybe he's good, but as a standard, he was never really a good yards per catch guy anyway. So I think he's a slump. All right, Sammy Watkins.
Slump to the extreme. No quarterback. Inconsistent. I think that's all you really need to say for someone. I mean, he does have some very good weeks. He's very talented, but he has no quarterback. Matt Castle and E.J. Manuel aren't going to get the job done for Buffalo. They're going to try to run the ball and win games 3-0.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to say slump here. Their offense is just awful. I mean, their defense.
If they can't run the football, they should just quit the NFL.
They should. I mean, look at what Rex Ryan does. He runs the ball. Sammy Watkins, uber talented, I mean, but still
he's on the wrong team.
Yeah, he unfortunately got drafted by a terrible offense, and you really can't trust terrible offenses. So I say he's a slump here. All right, our final guy is Martavis Bryant.
I love him. He's a stud. I mean, he's one of the best. I think he could actually be one of the best deep threats in the NFL at the end of the year, because you saw what he did last year. Him and Antonio Brown they both put up very good numbers in multiple weeks, and Ben Roethlisberger is going to throw the ball. They always throw the football, I know. And I think they just have a well-balanced offense with Bell. I know he'll be out the first 2 weeks, so I think they'll throw the ball even more in those first 2 weeks. But I just think they have such a steady offense. I mean, their defense, I think, took a hit. They lost their coordinator, they lost Paul Malu. So, I mean, it's just going to be a different look in Pittsburgh, but I think that their offense will not change in the way they look.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh defense is actually very bad this year, which is unlike most Pittsburgh teams. I think this offense is great. They're a top 5 offense in my opinion. So I think that Bryant being the number 2 receiver, okay, Marcus Wheaton, you can call him down. You're not going to be their number 2 wide receiver. It's Bryant. The guy's way better. He's a deep threat. I think he's a stud. I would take him as a wide receiver. Maybe not wide receiver 2, but as a flex option, I think he's really good. And he could get to top 10. I actually think he could be a top 10 wide receiver.
Yep, so could I.
Yeah, so that'll wrap up Slump or Stud with our sophomore wide receivers. Reason we didn't talk about Odell Beckham and Mike Evans, we think it's clear.
Talked about
yeah, we think it's clear
studs.
they're both going to be studs, so it was kind of unnecessary. But go ahead and comment. You guys agree, disagree, like as always, and subscribe at Your Fantasy Nerd. So thanks for watching.
Adios.